AITA for telling my parents they are irresponsible for getting pregnant for the 6th time. I am F19, my parents' second child. I have 3 brothers, 21, 13, and 7, and a sister, 16. We grew up poor, and our parents were often dependent on financial help from relatives, friends, etc. to raise us. This is because even though my dad has a mediocre job and my mom doesn't work, they just kept on popping out one kid after another. My parents are very religious and believe that children are a gift from God. Personally, I think that's total BS. My parents' reproductive choices wouldn't bother me if they hadn't caused mine and my siblings' lives to turn to SHT. While growing up, we never had new clothes or toys. We had to accept handouts from family members who were better off. We never went out or did anything fun. Now, my older brother and I have managed to get into good colleges and are looking forward to a future that would be better than our parents' lives. He and I have been home for quite a while due to the COVID-19 lockdown. Yesterday, my parents called all 5 of us into the living room. Mom said she had great news. The smile that was forming on my face ended a quick end when she said we're pregnant. I lost my temper. I asked them how they could be so stupid and irresponsible. Do they not have enough financial troubles already that they have to bring in another mouth to feed? My older brother tried to calm me down, but I was livid. After a lifetime of scarcity because of my parents' stupidity, they still hadn't learned their lesson. I asked them how they planned to provide for the kid. My dad told me I would have to give up the money our great-uncle had left me. He had left all 5 of us some money, which only we could access when we turned 18. I said, hell no. That money would help pay for my college expenses. He called me selfish for not being there for my family. I told them if they couldn't provide for the kid, they should get an abortion. My mom started crying and called me a heartless monster. Dad told me he was disgusted with me. I told them there was no way I was going to pay for their stupidity. Since then, the atmosphere in our house has been very tense. So tell me, am I the arsehole? Edit, I forgot to add that I told them that the only thing I'd help pay for was an abortion. FYI, I'm not American, and abortion is completely legal in my country. Edit 2, I want to thank all of you for your kind and helpful comments. Some of you asked if my money was safe. Yes, it is. My parents can't get it without my written consent, which they are not going to get. It was suggested that I talk to my younger sister. I'm planning to do that, and I'm going to do my best to ensure that she doesn't fall for any guilt tripping by my parents. To those of you who suggested that my comments were cruel, I see where you're coming from. But my biggest worry is the way my parents' reckless lifestyle is going to affect my younger siblings. And they're not doing this kid any favors by bringing him into a life of poverty. Once again, thank you very much. Update. Quite a lot has happened since I originally posted about this. I decided to get some family members involved so they could talk some sense into my parents. I called my mom's maternal cousin. She's one of my favorite people. When I told her that mom and dad were having another kid, she reacted with, "What? Again?" I told her everything and how they expected me to hand over my inheritance. She said she was going to speak to my parents and told me not to sign anything. I promised her I wouldn't. I also called 2 of my first cousins, one of whom is an accountant, so she could explain to my parents how much of a financial liability this baby is going to be and try to convince them to either abort or give it up for adoption. I moved out of my parents' home a few days ago. I was only going to stay here till the lockdown was relaxed, but I just can't bear to listen to my mom's nagging about how this baby is a blessing and I want to end it. I've moved into a friend's basement for minimal rent. My mom's cousin paid them a visit about a week ago and tried to tell them they weren't doing this child any favors by bringing it into a life of poverty. My mom was very rude to my aunt and told her that a woman who chooses to remain barren will never understand a mother's love. My aunt never wanted kids nor had any. My dad told her to get out. My aunt told me there was nothing she could do, but she did try. I didn't blame her. The cousin tried to explain the economic impact this kid would have, and my mom cried about how everyone was trying to take away her baby. WTF. The intervention didn't do SHT, so now that I've decided to cut contact with my parents, I just can't watch my family slide further and further into a hellhole. I'll be maintaining contact with my sister just to make sure my parents can't brainwash her. Otherwise, I'm done with these people. Edit, I want to thank all of you for your support. I think I should add that my brother will maintain contact with my parents. I'm actually glad that he will, because if they prevent my sister from talking to me, my brother can act as a link between me and her. Thank you for watching the video.